Jim and Terry Show coming to you from the Hobbit Hole Studio in Bob Cajun. I'm one of your hosts, Terry.
And I'm the other guy, Jim.
And together, we have not been raptured.
Have you heard type of thing? Yeah, the rapture, what a lot about talk about
Well, that's
that.
what we'll talk about first of all, because we both landed in our seats, but what a travail this morning. Microphone's not working. Feet don't fail me now. We're having lots of trouble, but here we are. And we're not raptured.
But I had a good breakfast.
You had a good breakfast.
I had eggs,
I was so
onions,
looking forward to you going
of onions.
to you being raptured, and I would get the breakfast today. However, oh well. Let's talk about why this went down on TikTok, on Instagram. This was on social media leading up to yesterday.
Yeah, I think what happens is everything that's happening in Israel with the shofar, blowing the shofar, 100 shofars, and the red heifers.
I'm sorry, what was that? Shofars?
Isn't that what you call
Yes.
them? Yes, shofars. And I think then people's imagination get really wrapped up and say, if they're blowing the shofars and all the things that are happening over in Israel, that the rapture must be imminent. And what happens is people start saying it's going to be Tuesday, it's going to be Wednesday. And even though Jesus said nobody knows of that day or that hour, nobody knows, only the Father, not the angels, not even the Son, just the Father. So bottom line is we're supposed to be ready, if you believe in that stuff, and I do. We're supposed to be ready all the time. Because we don't know when he's coming. He said he's like a thief in the night.
So
That's
then
what he said.
how is it that someone, and I believe this started in South Africa.
Yeah, well, the guy just, how many times have we seen this in our lifetime?
Yeah.
Where someone insists. One guy, didn't he have like 7 different predictions before? Did anybody ever say to him, shut up?
Well, this is the thing. They don't seem to go away. They seem to stay. And even if they're in error, and you are the one who pointed out to me the consequence of a false prophet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go kill anybody or anything,
No.
but the Bible says if someone says that I spoke to them and prophesied and I didn't, you were to take him and kill him. So the prophecy has to come true. Now, these people get all kinds of around, oh, well, spiritually, we all were raptured. You just don't know it. I know it, but we were all, that kind of thing. And so the best is to remember we don't know the day or the hour. So if we don't know the day or the hour, then shut up, quit making predictions. Be ready all the time. And that would be the message you should tell your congregation. Be ready all the time.
Question. Since the origin story of this particular 24th of September rapture originated in South Africa, if there was no internet, if there was no radio, would there have been a rapture?
No, they'd probably be in some tropical area drinking Kool-Aid.
So because
Kill 'em
we
all.
are aware of it,
Yeah.
we get upset about it.
Yeah, well, because it just keeps going. What it is a great opportunity for the enemies, if you like, of Christianity, of Christ, to mock and just mock. So, because, I mean, every joke, I mean, one comedian I had to shut off because he said it was like having a crap because they were pretending he was being raptured. He says, it's like having a crap. I just shut it off before I heard the answer to that. And then I'm very concerned if it's people I know, loved ones or not, who mock God. I mean, I can understand if you don't believe in stuff, but mocking him is bothersome to me.
Okay.
Not that you're doomed to hell or anything. It bothers me because...
It bothers your sensibility because you have a reverence.
Especially if I know it's family or something, I get hurt. And I worry about it. And, of course, then I have to spend a lot of time praying about it, that don't mock Christ. Don't mock God.
Now, are they, just to put a dividing line on this, is it mocking or is it mocking the people who are predicting? It's not mocking Christ, I don't think.
Well, it depends what you do. As soon as you start, it can turn into that because it's a very serious thing. Like, my faith is serious to me.
Yes.
So, God's not going to be mocked. So we have to be careful. My brother and I have, we're always connecting, and we got a sense of humor like you wouldn't believe. And so, I would kid about, I'm going to be on the toilet. I know I'm going to be the last one going up, that kind of thing. That might be playful a bit, but sometimes even that I kind of guard. But when you make light of the sacrifice of Christ and everything that went down with it, that bothers me. I'm sorry, I didn't want to take it down this road.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna
business.
sort of defend the comedians a bit and say, as long as you don't take it to the point of absurdity, and make it something like sitting on the toilet or something like that at the Rapture, and give too much color to it. But the point is that there are false prophets, and that needs to be spelled out. And we need to, as you say, take it seriously enough that, at least in the Old Testament, the remedy was stoning. And not that you're going to kill anybody this time, but for once, I would like to see every single account on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok that made this their thing. So if someone could go through and check all those people who are making that and delete their accounts, that to me would be digital stoning.
Yeah, a digital stoning. But I mean, people don't take anything serious. And if any way to make money, all the shock people, even the celebrated, Charlie Kirk sort of was like a shock jock type thing. He knew he was going to say some things that were going to ruffle the feathers.
Right?
Yeah, and separate. I'm a part of this group, and you're not a part of this group, and I'm now going to talk to you about this division, and it's going to cause separation and trouble.
Well, the very nature of the gospel is a separation. It's not church and state. It's wolf in sheep's clothing. It's false and true prophets. Everything about the message is about separating.
Yeah, it is. It's funny because it's both, isn't it? I mean, in reality, the message is for anybody who wants to believe it. Not everybody's going to believe it. There's a separation. And so that's where we are. But the people that do it online and stuff, they're doing it for money or shock effect or anywhere to get their numbers up. That's what they're going to do. Every now and then in this world, there's a wonderful justification, like Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel, his numbers went up when they were trying to kill him. That wasn't his doing. Because
kill the show.
He really didn't make a joke about that death.
No.
He didn't. That was them jumping on it to try to silence him, and he ended up reaching tens of millions of people over what he normally would reach. That's almost a miracle.
That's to me a little justice, because in the end he came back stronger with a more fervent message than he had before. Yeah. So to me, that says, Trump, keep your hands off the public forum, keep your hands off of public broadcasting. But
the other people, I mean, okay, listen, we got to start here. All those that said the rapture was going to be on the 24th were wrong. So they were not told by God.
No.
It was a lie. You were either told by the enemy of God or your own
vanity
or whatever it is, and you probably made money. And you probably got loyal followers who maybe sold their cars and homes and sent their money to you, which I never will understand. But I just say they were up to no good because God did not tell them he was coming that day. Because here we are. You know what I mean? Yeah. And unless two people went, here we are.
Yeah, I think it's a bigger deal now that we have social media and instant communication, the internet, radio, TV, 24/7 satellites. I mean, now we're aware of every, everything that goes on. Everybody sneezes and it goes around the world and you find out. So I'm thinking the internet is partly to blame for the rapture frenzy.
Well, the internet, all of these medias are to blame for everything. I mean, that's why you have the division in the United States and Canada. The reason we have divisions with people is because it's manufactured division, and not like what the conspiracy theorists think. It's the government dividing us. No, it's not. It's the enemy of democracy dividing us.
Would you say that rural people are more or less informed than urban people? The reason I'm asking that is simply because if you're saying the internet's dividing everybody, but people don't have internet access in the rural places, Idaho, Iowa, the Midwest of the United States, not a lot of internet service. And that's one of the things that was supposed to be done with Infrastructure Week was supposed to be providing internet broadband to everybody, but it didn't happen. So where are people getting their views on stuff?
In the olden days, you waited for the train to come in. And some guy came in from New York and he says, you're not going to believe what's happening in New York. Now, you don't have to go too far and you can get the information. Yeah. You'll find a way. And depending on who you're listening to, I just told you a whole story about at lunch, the two completely different people side by side, completely different, each one thinking the other one's blind. And I'm sitting there in marvel. I'm actually marvel. Obviously I took the side of one of them. There's two sides,
right.
But I didn't say anything. But I'm saying to myself, you can't even argue it anymore. People are just listening to that voice, whatever that voice is telling them.
We call that siloed communication, where you have you said it, walls. You built the walls, and you're inside. You don't know what's going on the other side because you won't bother to sit down and have a conversation. As the woman at your table said, Trump's God's man. That's all.
She didn't say that. I think she just said, I love him. He's the greatest
I
guy
love him. Well,
greatest guy ever.
Well, and she's a Christian saying that, so I'm thinking she's saying since she loves him, he's God's man. But whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We're all still here. And you ate the eggs this morning. And as we run out of time, final word goes to you.
Okay. All right. We weren't raptured, folks, but be ready.
Hallelujah. And keep your oil in your lamp. Bye-bye for now.